Got it. What's your progress so far in terms of like how many like you're building a two-sided marketplace, right? In some ways, right? You're building the AI side and the book side. What's your progress in building this market?
Yeah, so we started on the supply side. We figured we need to get some content available for license, and we went to the book publishing industry. They quickly the publishers redirected us to the authors because the situation there is that since all these publishing contracts for the last many decades have never mentioned AI rights, it basically means that the authors are the ones who still own their AI rights. So in order to unlock these AI rights, you have to actually get authors involved. And that's why these lawsuits are actually by authors, because it has to be the actual rights holder that files the lawsuit. So we built it as a direct author product. We partnered with the Authors Guild, and we allow authors to sign up and claim their books, select their licensing options, and license their books. And we've gotten quite good traction. We've got a lot of really big names, and a lot of and just a lot of authors, a whole diverse group of authors. So we've got a nice little library available for license. And then we are in conversations with AI companies. We've signed some deals. We've got many more in the works. There's a lot going on. So we're gonna have more to announce soon. But I think we're still building this marketplace. It's a really complicated marketplace to solve with a lot of kind of nuanced issues on all parts of it. But we're making good progress.
Sounds good, man. And I can see on your website, some are public, right? So Walter Isaacson with the Steve Jobs books, James Patterson, like these are some of the authors. You presumably you've signed, right?
Yeah, and like Doug Preston and Susan Orlin and Sylvia Day. Those are just some of the ones we put up on our homepage to kind of like just to sort of it's kind of showcase some of the folks we have. But there's a lot more, and the library is growing every day. And yeah, we hope over time to have a growing library of content where authors are willing to share to license their books, as opposed to just filing lawsuits about them. And we're trying to flip this to getting people to share their books for license versus this taking legal action. And I think we're making good progress. When we started this, the author community was very divided. Some people just didn't want anything to do with AI. Some people were kind of on the fence. Some people were enthusiastic. We're kind of starting with the enthusiastic ones, and then we're gonna expand from there.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a ton of sense. This sounds like very much like the music industry going, and then eventually ending up at Spotify, right? It was all lawsuits in the 2000s, and then ended up with the legal path to getting to monetizing their streaming rights, right? Which people still complain about, but everyone seems to be it's a relatively stable place, right? Where Spotify, is that a good analogy?
Yeah, I think it's a good analogy, because with with Spotify, there was the Napster era. There was a lot of legal questions about that, lawsuits, and Spotify solved it by just building a really good product that got the labels and got the artists on board, and got consumers on board, and bringing those two together. And I mean, that's what we're trying to do, is build a legitimate model that everyone is on board for. I think Spotify is a good analogy. We're trying to be like the Spotify of content of the AI era.
Yeah. Maybe while you're doing that, you can also build on a consumer product, to consume the book, so you can compete with Audible or something, or some other types of some other
Yeah,
type of
we're going to be building all sorts of stuff. I mean, we've built a licensing product. We've built an infringement detection system, so we can monitor the LLMs to see which books people have and make that information available to authors. And we are actively thinking about building our own consumer products. I mean, there's so many ideas, and so one of our ideas is like just become a customer of our own marketplace, basically, and start building consumer products. So we're building a lot as a company, and we've got some good stuff in the works.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. So you mentioned that this idea could extend to other segments and industries. It kind of makes sense, right? Like the movie industry has had a lot of controversy over AI rights. Obviously, music itself has had a kind of. Which industries do you see as like ripe for this type of disruption, as well as books?
I think it's all human generated works and all copyrighted works. That's videos, music, art, podcasts. I mean, really everything. And eventually want to work with all kinds of industries, all kinds of content, and be the connective tissue between all copyright works and AI. When we started this, I thought we were going to expand pretty quickly, but as we got into books, I just realized there's just so much to solve with books. I think we're in a stronger position, really kind of succeeding in that one vertical, solving the problem, and then expanding from there. So we're laser focused on books, but once we make some progress there, we're going to expand and do this for all kinds of content.